party, and so I will do my best to just kind of give a quick summary and talk about some initiatives that we've been working on, and I'm really excited to talk a little bit about it tonight. While we were having the coffee hours, and I'll tell you the genesis of this, while we were having the coffee hours, a lot of folks in the North End would come in, specifically me, to talk about all sorts of things, but the number one issue consistently was trash. It was consistently about how dirty the streets are, and that despite the fact that we have one full-time hokey dedicated to the North End, that was not enough, considering the amount of commercial activity that we have, and that I think in terms of density, we probably have more commercial, at least restaurants, than any other neighborhood. And so as a result, and even with the restaurants having daily commercial pickup that they pay for, we still were finding that whether it's during feast season, whether it's during the summer, folks were still not treating our neighborhood like it was a neighborhood. A lot of them saw it as a tourist attraction. A lot of them saw it as a place where they could dump their pizza boxes on people's houses. They didn't realize that was people who lived there. And so it was really frustrating. So we began to think about ways to make sure that our neighborhood shines as bright as it possibly can. And while walking in the downtown area, I noticed on Sunday there was a person with a uniform on with the downtown bid across his chest. And it really occurred to me that this neighborhood in the bid was paying for continued service for cleanup. Myself, Aaron Michaelwitz, and our aides, we met with a downtown bid person to talk a little bit about how this works, what they're doing. And basically, they have permanent cleaning structure. Literally from 5:30 in the morning one day to 6 a.m. the next day, someone is always cleaning up in the downtown. And they're not picking up the trash, they're power washing the streets, they're moving the snow, but they're constantly moving. And they do that through the bid process. Now, many of you may already know a little bit about the Greenway bid. It's a complicated process, and in order to get a bid, it's really limited to property owners and them being assessed an additional tax that pays for the upkeep of a certain area. And it could take a year before that's even approved, and then you have to also have it approved by the city council. So it really occurred to us, if we can skip all of that red tape and really get commitment here in our neighborhood, I wonder if that wouldn't be a success. So if we think about this thing, we want a working title and clean streets, basically, where it would allow under an existing nonprofit folks to come onto a committee that is dedicated to making sure our streets stay clean in the North End. This committee would set the geographic area, it would set the pay rate for the individuals, would hire hokies, and would make sure that someone is constantly cleaning on a full-time basis our streets, in complementing the services that we get from the city. Which, no matter what, whether you like it or not, when we pay our taxes, it goes into a general fund. And I would argue, and I think many of you would, we don't get our fair share for the amount of commercial activity and the amount of taxes that we put into the general fund for the city. But the city would argue, look, we have a whole city, and when we get resources such as a hokey, we're going to divide them amongst the city. We're not going to just look at how much, maybe neighborhoods that have a little bit more income are putting in versus other ones. But this is different. This allows us as a neighborhood to come together and for the committee to set up a donation schedule for folks who live here, regardless of whether they own property or not. So in the ideal situation, the committee would come out and say, $2 a month for all the tenants. These are me just coming up with random numbers, okay? $2 a month for all the tenants, $5 a month for all the landlords. Restaurants, you have this kind of monthly basis. All of this will be contributed to the local nonprofit here in the North End, which will pull the kitty and then use that to buy cleaning resources and hire individuals to clean our streets. Hence the Clean Street program. It's easier because we already have some 501c3s, NEWRA being one of them, and we already have folks who are dedicated to the community, looking at all y'all, who are dedicated, who understand, who can help define the geography, can help define how much we want them to do, the hokies. It's basically a casual or less formalized version of the bid. And unlike the bid, which only applies to property owners, which many of our property owners don't live here in the North End, right? They pay taxes, but they don't live here. It's open to tenants. It's open to anybody. It's open to myself. I may live in East Boston, but I want to contribute to this nonprofit and this initiative, generally to help keep the streets clean. This is not to replace city services, but it's recognizing that we as a community need to complement, and we need to do more, and we can do more. With everybody doing just a little bit, it would be a huge difference for our community. Now, this is totally voluntary. No one's going to be forcing anybody to do it. And it's for those who want to come on board to help keep the streets clean. We can hire locally, and the best part is the money that we raise can only be spent here. It's not going generally away from us, and it's under our control. We have transparency. The committee will be open to folks. And so we met briefly with representatives from NEWRA and NEWRA to talk about coming together and what that would look like. Setting up the structure, raising funding, with the hope that this could launch in the spring of next year, so that all this is settled out, all this is all transparent, all this is all very clear, so that we can do this by next spring. Why this is important is, I'm telling you, word got out somehow. I'm getting calls from other neighborhoods asking about this, and I'm like, we haven't done anything yet. But there's an excitement about watching a neighborhood kind of come together and pull, even if it's small amounts, to provide and clean up the neighborhood. And it could end up being a model for the whole city, if you want to complement city services. Now, the good thing is, we spoke with Aaron Michaelowicz. I believe the mayor's office is interested in seeing what happens here and seeing how we complement and work with them. And we need all levels of government to be excited about supporting the community coming together. And so I'm hoping that you will get excited about this as well. The worst that's going to happen is we don't raise as much as we'd like, and we have maybe not as much cleaning services as we'd like. That's the worst that's going to happen. But I think we're actually going to knock it out of the park, which we have consistently done as this community when it comes to raising money for North End kids, for North End beautification. We always rise to the occasion. And so, and I can't think of a better community that this could work in, because of the density, because of the size, for it to be able to be the most effective and have the most impact. So, that's me talking about something that we're going to be working on together. I will not be in those meetings because I believe in community. I believe in you being able to do the best. But I want to be as supportive of you as possible. And that's why we set the table. That's why we came together. But I don't think at the end of the day it should be coming down as a mandate. I think it's going to be celebratory and something that we can be happy about. And when I brought this up recently to a couple folks, we already had $1,500 in donations. They were so excited. Well, I'll give you $1,000. I'll give you $500. So I'm seeing that people are excited about it. So that's it. Let's go party.
Thank you. Sign up meeting.
Oh yes, thank you. Yes, so for those who are interested in hearing more about this, stay on the list or possibly coming to the committee meetings, which are about 4 people right now, 2 from NEWRA and 2 from NEWNIC, to be helping to build this out. We'll take your information and this won't be part of our general listserv. This will be strictly about the clean streets. So we can be wrapped into too many emails. And so Michael has that sign up so we can be sure to keep you informed. And yeah, so I don't know. Thank you. Thank you. Let's do that.
Any questions?
Maybe I just didn't hear everything you said.
Exactly. It's just voluntary. It's voluntary, and it hasn't. They have not been set yet. So that'll be set by the committee, the local community, which we hope will involve some tenants, some landlords, some businesses. We do have some, businesses who are interested in this. We think a wonderful way even to get some businesses really excited is if, imagine the person pushing the cart and cleaning the streets has brought to you by local business on there as it's free advertising the entire time while they're cleaning up the streets, right? And maybe the committee can work with restaurants to figure out what level of advertisement that should cost, but that helps to support that. And it helps businesses. Obviously, cleaner streets mean businesses have cleaner storefronts. Sue, did you have a question?
She's in the kitchen. Are we good? Well, you're going to stay for a little while.
I am going to stay
and join
for
us.
Did you have a question, Sue?
Well, I did. I'm excited to join in on that committee, but I just want to impress that we still need, and as you did say, we need ISD in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I did want to mention is that, we do have a recycling program here. And the last time we got anything from City Hall on how to appropriately recycle was during the Manila era. And that's not good enough because people move in and out, they don't recycle appropriately, so it gets going into the trash. And we need something at a minimum is every year a pamphlet from City Hall so that residents can be better at recycling and better at putting their garbage in. So
Yeah, no,
that would be great.
I think that this is, and I don't see this as an application of city services
Right.
or my advocacy for this neighborhood for more city services. But this is a complement to that, and that is directly controlled by North Enders about where it's gonna go and how it's gonna go. And that, as you know, even with all the advocacy that I could do, I could never be that controlled of the city coffers directed in this neighborhood that we will have when it comes to this program. But thank you, yes.
Voice our
recycling.
concern to the mayor that we haven't gotten any education on recycling in years. And we need to go along with that.
Thank
you.
Thank you. I just want to give you the results of the vote. It's 18 in favor, 13 opposed.
Thank you, members of the board.
We will be drafting a letter. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the party.
Sign it.
Thank you.